Hey folks, it's me again, Cvetka. Kinda low energy right now. Had kind of a rough couple of days, but go ahead and music level seems fine. Do I have anyone watching right now who can tell me if the background music is in fact coming through? Because the last time I was using it, like I'm messing with the track settings for recording on OBS, and I accidentally made it last time so that music BGM was not coming through on the recording. But yeah, Looney and I went grocery shopping today, and every time we have to walk to the store, walk to the market, and bring back groceries, especially during summer, I'm freaking exhausted. So, but I got some sort of annoying medical news yesterday, and then we had problems with our apartment, where Looney and we electrocuted our landlord, so upshot there. But yeah, one of the circuits in our kitchen was going in and out, intermittent. So landlord came over, inspected a bit, and got shocked touching the stove and the refrigerator at the same time. And there were only 50 volts at the outlet where there's supposed to be 120. So he called the electrician over, and I didn't even think that we were going to be able to stream yesterday because of that whole ordeal. In fact, he was saying, if this is a bad enough problem, we might put you up in a hotel. And like, our landlord, landlords universally suck, but we have the least terrible landlord we could possibly ask for. So it was relatively okay. My brain is tired. The electrical was fixed, but I wasn't even sure that we were going to be able to stream yesterday. But then my girlfriend Maria and I did our best to stream Borderlands 1 together, which had a huge number of technical problems that we did manage to work out, and we had a lot of fun playing. So there's that. But yeah, yesterday was just kind of frustrating. But I am here again, back at the workbench. Put on top-down view. There we go. Hi. So anyway, yeah, this is just going to be... I was originally planning on working on model train stuff today, because I still have this to work on, which is... You know what? I'll go ahead and look through this today, because why not? I haven't actually looked in it yet. Let me see. It's so bright. Let's see, how's that? It's a little bit better. Constantly adjusting the lighting and also focus. That looks fine. Rayon thread actuators are nearly invisible on the layout. I mean, they should be under the layout for our purposes. But the quiet drive system will operate over 30 hours on 2 D cells. The detector is fully adjustable and does not depend on room light for operation. With additional track switches, it will work with multiple tracks. 12 volt DC power is required for the detector. Cool. HO scale WAG signal. Take a look at what's in here. I'm just going to repack this because I'm not going to work on it today because I have something else to work on, but... Okay, we do in fact have instructions. They are in pretty decent English, it looks like. Not always the case. But okay. Circuit board. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. Let's actually look at the parts. So this looks like an owl. Dang it. Motor. Interesting that that's just a normal straight DC motor. I wonder if the circuit does actually, I mean it should. We've got some copper white contacts there. Oh, those must be for, I'm not sure. I have to assume that's for the LEDs on the actual WAVE signals? I don't know. Electromagnetic relay. That? I'm not sure. That looks... for a second I thought that was a piezoelectric buzzer, but it's not. It's just a circuit board. It's some kind of contact or something. I don't know. Here is our actual main board for it, which has its own instructions. There's a bunch of copper contacts in there, which okay, those have got to be for the WAVE system. Maybe connecting pins? I don't know. There's... not sure what all is going on in here. Resistor, diode, capacitor, electrolytic capacitor, transistor. 3906. I don't remember which type of transistor that is. Another resistor, 100 ohm, looks like. Or no, 1K. And another diode. Okay. And then, oh. Is this a 555? That is a standard NE555N timer socket and a trimmer pot. Okay. And then the rest is that rubber? That is rubber. Here's the cord and just a bunch of molded plastic stuff. Brass rods. And this. Am I not on? Yeah. Me too. I will never get tired. I have spent a large amount of time just vibing in Starbound, just because it's so pretty and relaxing at night, and like I spend an inordinate amount of time farming. Like apparently my dream task in video games is just agriculture, because any game that gives me the opportunity to farm, I will drop everything and just start farming. That is my main thing, is like in Minecraft I try to collect every crop. Love Stardew Valley, obviously, and then in Starbound also, like, my main goal in exploring planets is to find every growable crop, seed, and just farm like crazy, because I love it, building farms. And just chilling on the farm at night on a temperate planet in Starbound with this playing in the background, it's so relaxing. I love it so much. But anyway, so I'm just looking at all of the stuff that comes with. Oh, I'm so tired. Comes with the wigwag signal. Looks good, but that's not actually what I'm going to work on today. I just love that this looks like an owl with a monocle. Put all this stuff back away, because we are going to work on Stream Deck stuff for Lunetta. Boot. Here, all this needs to get in there. Okay. So, building stuff for the stream deck. So this is a lesbian power trio of streamers, where me, Maria, and Lunetta. Maria and I did our first stream of Borderlands together last night, which was a little bit of a train wreck for technical reasons, but was still a lot of fun. But Maria is the one that I do not live with. Lunetta is the one that I do live with, and she is not really much of a PC person, and she mostly does a lot of console gaming. But she also wants to do the VTubing stuff, so I have been doing my best. Maria and I have been doing our best to set up a streaming setup for her, for Lunetta, and oh shit, excuse me. So she has Switch and PS5. She has a super potato lightweight laptop. It's kind of crap, but I thought, maybe there's a chance that we can do VTubing on this. And so I've been working on that. We did not have a capture device on it, which is problem number one. I'm going home to the family estate soon. I'm just going to bring back my analog capture device, which would at least let her stream PS2 and Wii games. But I will still probably bring that back just because it would be funny sometimes. But Maria got her a HDMI capture, and so that's working. That is set up. The audio configuration for it is a little bit weird, but that is working. OBS is on there and works. VNyan is on there and works. It's like the frame rate is not great, and for some reason, like the Wi-Fi connection in particular from her laptop seems like crap, because I had to turn down the bitrate settings in OBS in order to get it to look okay on stream during a little unannounced test stream. But it's the frame rate isn't great, like for the VTuber model and stuff, but it does work. So I think this is gonna work. But there are a couple more things that need to be solved. One of which is we need a microphone, and we do not have one yet. So for testing purposes, I'm just going to use my Blue Yeti. But at some point, I've got to get like a snowball for her. But one thing is that when the GPU is working very, very hard, insofar as it has a GPU, it is working really, really, really hard to render the 3D VTuber model. And it can do it, but it gets very hot. So one of the things that I need to build is a cooling pad. Basically, I'm just gonna set it on top of a shallow box and have some small fans pushing a ton of air through it, which will help a lot. I don't know what I did with my 40mm fans. They are somewhere in, I have 10 or 12 of the damn things, and I don't know where they are in this office. They're somewhere here. I'll find them, I'll work on that, and just grab a 12-volt plug-in power supply so it doesn't take up a USB slot. But cooling the laptop, that is one of the things that I need to build. And the other thing that I need to build is a stream control deck, because what I have for myself, again, when you have more time than money and you have the skill to do so, building equipment is sometimes a helpful thing to do. So this is the deck that I actually use to control my streams. If I get the focus just right. Turn off this light. Does it look okay with that light off? Too much reflection. But so yeah, this is my stream deck insofar as I have one. Get that there. So shift model change. puts me on this model. Control model change. Puts me on this one. These are F keys. These are F13 through F21, which aren't, you know, on most keyboards, but are valid keyboard scan codes. So this is considered a USB keyboard, and then I've just got Shift, Control, and Alt. I just didn't have enough buttons for F22, 23, and 24. But I've got that. This moves my model around, you know. And camera control. So that's cool. And then this is like for gaming. Those are for controlling different game screens. This game screens. This is my mute button. This takes me back to the desktop. Let me see. This shift desk button takes me to the be right back screen. So yeah, there's that. And then there are 2 USB cords going to this because there are 2 USB devices in it. That is the keyboard, which is a 32U4 microcontroller that is just directly hardwired with solid pins to the like phone keypad. And then the other one down there, which I wish I had used longer wiring on this and could position it better. This is the Deej controller, which is where I have my microphone gain. If I turn that way down. No, it seems like you can still hear me. Maybe that doesn't... Oh, no, it seemed... Yeah, okay. Because I'm looking at OBS. So that does... I think that does adjust microphone gain. Apologies if that was terrible at your end. This is game volume. This is BGM music volume. Master System volume, and then Discord and Firefox. Not that that gets used for anything during stream, but yeah, this is my Stream Deck. And one of the problems with streaming with her laptop is simply cord length. She moved from the couch because I don't expect her to sit, 5 or 6 feet in front of the TV on the floor playing. We also need to figure out a lighting setup and stuff for the face tracking. We have a tripod for the phone, but the laptop is kind of far away in front of her due to cord lengths reaching the capture device, and I don't want to try to push that with like cord extensions due to like bandwidth of trying to capture 1080 video. I'm not sure how well that would work. So, but also I just kind of want to make one of these for her too, to hook up to her laptop. Unfortunately, I do not have a keypad like this. Another one. I do have another one, but it is currently in my Kerbal Space Program flight controller. So I don't have that, and I don't have literally any buttons to spare for doing this. So, like, I can't do that side of things, but I can do this side of things and at least make an audio controller for now. For which I have a whole bunch of potentiometers. So another 6, because there are 6 analog inputs on a normal Arduino. And like 8 would be nice. I would like to have a couple more controls on mine, but what I can fit. I will find a box to mount them in later. Right now I just want to get it wired and working. And so I'm just going to wire these up. And one of the things that I'm going to do, see, they're all different values, but they're all voltage splitters, so it doesn't matter. These are 1K ohm, 100K, 10K, 50K, and you can see it like right at the top there. That one, that's 10K. So yeah, doesn't matter that they're not the same. Oh right, I was saying this is it's a software package. It's both an Arduino library that just communicates over serial like it does serial print of the value of the knobs, so it's like it's not even really a library, it's just a sketch. But then that goes to a piece of software on the desktop where they have it for both Windows and Linux, I think, where it is a system volume control. And it's DEEJ, Deej. And that is one of the things on my checklist before every stream. Oh yeah, I should set my model back. And that. Yeah, so building another Deej controller for Looney's laptop. And then, of course, I'm gonna spend tomorrow. There's no stream tomorrow, again, because we're going to watch Furiosa. But I'm gonna spend tomorrow trying to build the cooling pad, if I can find the frickin' fans. And then Friday, gonna do my best to do a stream, my own account and stuff, but from her streaming rig to try to stream Tomb Raider 1, just to test it out. So that'll be fun, hopefully. So we're gonna be doing a little bit of soldering today. That is the main thing that I'm gonna work on. Now, I don't have... I'm running low on microcontrollers. And what I'm just going to use is this, which is... This is basically a compact form factor Arduino Uno. It does not have the 16U2 USB chip. It uses a different USB to serial converter, but that is a Atmel ATmega 328P microcontroller, just on a different form factor, but the pinout is exactly the same as a normal Uno R3. So the problem is, this is one that I usually use for like prototyping and testing stuff, and it's already got header pins for a breadboard, and I don't want to take those out. So I'm going to be instead putting together a board to plug those into. And for that, let me see. Oh, this box smells like circuit boards. This box smells like probably like fluff. These... Is that enough pins? That is enough pins. Okay, I can use one of these things. Do I have one that's already split off? I really like these. These are electro cookie boards. A lot of... I have done my own circuit board etching at home. That is the thing that I will be doing more of on this channel eventually, is DIY circuit board etching, which I learned from Blondie Hacks. But that's a whole lot of setup, and I tend to kind of... Oh, here we go. Here's one. I don't have one that's already cut. We'll use that, because this is 4 that you can leave connected together, or break them apart like that. So it's like a graham cracker circuit board. So, and it's got 3-pin traces on it, rows of 3-pin traces. So I'm gonna use that. I think how's the hole spacing on this? That's doable. That's fine. Okay, so there's the board. The other thing is that I need headers to plug the thing into, and I'm completely out of female headers to solder in, so I'm going to have to salvage some off of an old board that's not being used for anything. So I will be pulling those 2 off and probably shortening them? Shortening them by, yeah, 2 pins. And reusing those for this. So getting that off of there is going to be kind of half number 1. That out of the way. And let me see. Here. Moving tools around. So it's going to be soldering time in a minute. So this side, I have to be kind of a little bit careful about how I do this. In fact, Do I have an empty medicine bottle sitting here somewhere? I do. Use that cup to catch these things as I pull them off. So let me get the plastic bit off first. Get my tweezers under there. It's gonna be a little bit difficult. Actually, might be easier with this. Get the screwdriver in there. I can. Okay, that is coming up. This isn't really like an advisable way to do things, but like you make do with what you got. I'm also hoping that I don't run out of solder during this stream. I'm gonna be really annoyed. I'm gonna have to like fucking crowdfund that for the next Workbench stream because I am almost totally out of solder. I think I have one backup spool of like larger wire size. Okay. So, oh yeah, and as I was saying, the reason that like I use breadboard so much instead, because I've like White Cork was one time like trying to convince me like you know, oh, just use EagleCAD and design like purpose-built circuit boards for your circuits and then fucking send it off to a printer. Like, I don't remember what she suggested, but I like OSH Park. I've gotten a couple of boards from them from other people's projects, like for NixieTube stuff. But I like, yeah, I need to learn EagleCAD someday to design my own circuit boards. And yeah, sure, like if I'm doing a fancy project where I'm confident in what the final build is going to be and not worry about having to order revisions of those boards, that'll be great. But the turnaround time of waiting a couple of weeks for the board to arrive, I'm not that patient. Which is why I have the stuff here to make my own circuit boards. And I've been learning to do that. Etching them is fine. Masking them for where the traces are supposed to go, I don't have a proper setup for doing that yet. I don't have like a UV light box and like I need transparencies to print the light masks on and stuff. For doing that, I don't have the parts for that yet. So I literally, the last circuit board I made, actually, where is that? I can just show it. It is back here. 1 second. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I kind of have. I don't really buy Arduinos anymore. For most projects, like for my DIY flight control stuff, I still habitually use UnoJoy. Yeah, right. I still need the UnoJoy. Or I still need, what am I saying? I still need the Arduino Uno R3 for, God, this is becoming show and tell. No, the back of my KSP controller is all buttoned up. I can't easily show it off. But for my custom joysticks, they are like flight controllers. They are dependent on the 16U2, being able to reprogram the 16U2, which is the USB to serial chip, because the Arduino Uno is based on the 328P, the AT Mega, and that doesn't have integrated USB like 32U4 does. So it has it uses a serial to parallel chip, USB to parallel chip to program it and control it. And I have firmware for the 16U2 which is what the Uno uses as its serial interface, to turn it into a joystick, to turn it actually technically into two joysticks with an ungodly number of buttons and axes, which is useful for the kind of flight simulator stuff that I do. And I had actually asked White Cork at one point to help me make some custom improvements to the Uno Joy library for doing that. That's a very outdated That's a very outdated way to make custom joysticks. Everyone just uses 32U4 and SAMD stuff for that. But like, it's the software that I'm used to using, so it's how I like doing things. The awkward thing is just that then all of my flight simulator equipment has this full-size fucking Arduino Uno board screwed into it, which is a terrible form factor. But whatever. But these days, for basically everything else, I just get I'm a total Adafruit shill. I buy most of my stuff Adafruit, and I get their, what is it? Most of my projects now use the Adafruit Itsy Bitsy M0 and M4 ARM Cortex chips. So I really like working with those. Oh, they're fantastic. I love them so much. I don't always order directly from them. I very often get my Adafruit stuff through Mouser, while I am also buying other stuff from Mouser, because like Adafruit doesn't carry like the resistors and stuff that I need in bulk. So I very much prefer Adafruit over like SparkFun for their stuff. But yeah, so that's mostly what I use. But for this, the Deej controller can be any kind of Arduino. It doesn't matter. So using the Metro Mini 328p is fine. Doesn't matter. It's just a serial stream. For the keyboard, it has to be SAMD or 32U4 in order to convert it to a USB keyboard for the control buttons. But for the audio mixer, this is fine. Anyway, so now I have to get all of... Where is that foam pad? All of those off. Yeah, that's legit. Okay. It seemed to be fine last time, but as usual, please let me know how like the noise situation is with the fan. Oh, before I do that, I was going to show off. So this is my main thing that I have done for, and I love how it looks like a skull doing the Hear No Evil thing. This is just a 8-bit bus display. It has a blanking wire, it has 5 volts positive and ground, and then it has 2 4-bit inputs, each of which go to a pair of, what are these? MC14495P1 7-segment driver chips, but these are not 4-bit to binary encoded decimal, they're 4-bit to hexadecimal. So this does actually display... I can actually just turn it on and show it. But yeah, that this is for my 6502 computer project for displaying what is currently on the data bus. This is because I want the display on that, like out of principle, to not be multiplexed. So each 4-bit group has its own dedicated hexadecimal decoder and digit. And so I'm going to be building another one of these that's 4 digits for the data bus, and like that's a whole project. But it also then has 8 yellow LEDs, 3mm LEDs on it, which are the binary display. So it displays both hexadecimal and binary value of whatever 8 bits you were putting into it. And I etched this board myself. which was really kind of frustrating. I basically wasn't using enough solution. So it had a couple of like the way that this worked was, I drilled the holes first with a Dremel tool. Like I printed out a template. I designed a template on the PC, like in GIMP, printed it out, glued it on here, probably had an allergic reaction to the glue, drilled all of the pinholes with a Dremel using a little, 1mm bit or whatever, and then polished the hell out of this thing until I could see my reflection in it with steel wool. Cleaned it really good with alcohol, and then based on another printed template just hanging on the wall in front of me, the traces were drawn with Sharpie marker. They were drawn with permanent marker in multiple layers. That took like 4 hours to mask this fucking thing by hand. And then after letting that dry, I etched it. I basically didn't use quite a deep enough etching bath, and so it took forever. And while wiping it down, some of the traces, yeah, hell yeah. I'm so proud of how it turned out. A couple of the traces did scratch through. Actually, I think a couple of these, like, some of them actually, like, because I didn't use a deep enough etching bath, some of them didn't fully separate, and you can kind of see that I then afterwards went through and like scratched in between every trace with a needle file to make sure that there was no copper contact. And then a couple of them, there were scratches in the board, and due to my permanent marker masking not really working out, there are traces that were broken after I was done, and so those are circled in Sharpie marker after the fact, and I just soldered jumper wires across them. But other than that, like, for something done 100% by hand, I'm really happy with how that turned out. So, since I am here, where did I set the fucking... There it is. Ugh, my project power supply. You extractor back. The insulating foam for the noise doesn't slide very well. Who could have thunk? Here, B1 is 5 volts. Okay, that is 5 volts. Where did I put? Here it is. So let me see. Up here. Ground and 5 volts, and then this thing, I think this is active high, I can't remember. We'll put the individual bits to ground so it'll have full 0 input. That is 5 volts and ground. Power, and that, and that, and like I'm gonna make a proper video of this once I've finished the other parts of the interface, which will be a while, but yeah. Plug this in. Where did the cord go? You get back up there. Is it active? Ah, yeah. Okay. So it's not super bright, but this is active low, or rather active high for blanking, so when this wire is on 5 volts there is no display, but when it is on ground that does light up. And then, like, yeah, I can't adjust the exposure of the camera manually, but yeah, so like What is 10? 8 plus 2, which is A in hexadecimal, so that's 8. Plus 2, that's A. So yeah, that is yellow for the data display. What are you streaming it with? With the other streaming gear. This isn't the streaming gear for me that I'm building. This is the streaming gear for my girlfriend that I am building. And eventually I'm going to have to build another set of that for Maria, unless she wants to just buy some off-the-shelf stuff. Which, you know, is less romantic, but I wouldn't blame her. So yeah, this is my ridiculous hexadecimal display. There's B, there's F. So it looks so bright on camera, it's honestly pretty dim. Like, can I get that? No. But yeah. Multiple girlfriends? Yes, multiple girlfriends are streaming. Maria, who I was playing Borderlands with yesterday, does not live with me. She lives a few hours away. And then Lunetta is the girlfriend who does live with me. And I'm setting up streaming kit for her for her to be able to stream from the PS5 and the Switch. So, but yeah, so that is my fucking hand-etched display that I'm very proud of. That was so much work to build this fucking thing. And the in order to make it like compact enough, the 4-digit display for the address bus on my 6502 is gonna be like 5 boards. So it's gonna be kind of an ordeal. But yeah, I'm really proud of how this came out. Yeah, these are the 4-bit to hexadecimal 7-segment driver decoder chips, and this is the line driver chip for the LEDs, and then these transistors up here are used for the blanking. So, and then it's got a component that I absolutely love and wish I had known about when I was much younger. Oh, actually, I don't think it actually has any on here, does it? No, this doesn't use any resistor networks. The other one will use. Oh yeah, it does for the LEDs. The series LEDs. Instead of using 8 separate resistors, current limiting resistors for the 8 LEDs, I just use a resistor network, which is 8 resistors in a single 9-pin package with one side of all of them tied together. And it's easy to mistake for a wire, but I freaking love those now. So that was a fun project and is an ongoing thing. I knock shit over here. Anyway, okay, so I need to get these pins off of here. Oh, that's kind of a cool effect on the camera. I don't know if that's coming through on the stream. What is the XKCD line? Shit, I'm trying to remember. Something when two grids are slightly misaligned, that's amore. I don't remember how the song goes, but yeah. Love that shit. Anyway, so I gotta get those off there. Someone else can fucking look that up for me. When a grid's misaligned with another behind, that's amore. I think that's how it goes. Alright. Let me know how the sound is with the fan. Both relative to me and to the music. Did you post Bobby Tables on... I don't know. God, I haven't read XKCD in years. Like, it just... I don't know. I don't read as many webcomics as I used to. I mostly, at this point, I still somehow read Elguna Shive. I really like it. It's a comic that I don't recommend anyone else try to read. It's a comic that I don't feel worth recommending to others, but it is a comic that I really like still. So let's see. Move that over. Okay. He's off. Yep. I still really like Elguna Shive. The early archives are fucking impossible to get through. Dan Shive, however, has gotten much better about not putting walls of text and exposition in the comics. The modern EGS is really good. I still really like it, but yeah, that's not a one that I recommend to others. But I read that. Kill 6 Billion Demons. Two things that are definitely very similar in tone. Shit, what else? I still read Gunner Creed Court. For a while, I stopped reading it because it just goes on and on with no fucking resolution, and I got really tired of it and I stopped reading it, but it's actually gotten interesting again, so I have caught up with that. Kill 6 Billion Demons is fucking fantastic. Metatron lives! If you can't hear the fan, but you can hear the music, and you can hear me, and my speech is not all garbled, then everything is working fantastic. I get that. KSBD is not for everyone, but I really enjoy it. Yay, audio is fine. Is this hot enough yet? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. So I need to salvage all of... Nope, that's the wrong one. Come on. Oh, that one's bent on the end, right? Because the way that I would have installed this is like installing an IC or IC socket. Where I put headers on both sides of a microcontroller board and then stuck it in and then bent down the corner terminals in order to make it stay in the board and then soldered it. So some of these are bent over on the back. But I used to really like Dresden Kodak, but I haven't read that for a long time. I still... What are some other ones? I really enjoy Tiger Tiger, which is probably the most recent one that I started. And then I really like The Works of Cube Watermelon, by which I mean Sleepless Domain. I'm still really into that. But let me see what else. Come on. There we go. What else am I thinking? I still read questionable content for some fucking reason. I don't actually like questionable content anymore. And like, not because, like, I like Jeff Jacks, the author. I think he's cool, and I think there's a lot of cool stuff in questionable content. And like, I met one of my girlfriends through the questionable content message board. Your reasons for... Yeah, my reasons are muscle memory of typing in the fucking URL when I'm sitting at my computer. I've deleted the link, but I still read it because I sit down on my computer and mindlessly, put the letter Q in the URL bar, and I've been trying to stop with varying levels of success. I like, but like, all of the most recent characters are fucking annoying. I honestly can't stand them, so it's like, I don't want to still read it. But, yeah. Really like modern EGS, and really like Kill 6 Billion Demons. And I like current Gun Recruit Court. Omega is holding my interest, put it that way. Okay, one row is completely off. That's true, it has gone to Canada. Mine is also, you know, I have a literal phobia of narcotics, and so marijuana-related content makes me really uncomfortable. And so the most recent storyline is just me accidentally typing the letter Q into the URL bar and then having anxiety. Don't fucking like that, but oh well. Oh, I can barely see what I'm doing. There we go. How to Be a Werewolf. Haven't read that. I'm assuming that's completely unrelated to Paradigm Shift. I did find that one interesting, but stopped reading it after a while. I think he went on hiatus. The author went on hiatus, and then he did eventually come back, but I never bothered catching up. I think that might actually be like concluded. Not sure. Oh, so I really like Sam and Fuzzy. There are way worse things to stumble upon by typing Q in a browser. Yeah. I really liked it. Like Questionable Content and Sam and Fuzzy are both comics that I started reading in high school, which is fucking crazy. Like I started reading them in high school around the time that they first started. And the main storyline of Sam and Fuzzy ran for 18 and a half years. And Sam Logan is still making comics and putting them on the Sam and Fuzzy site, but like the big epic storyline concluded, and so it's like, nah, I'm done with it. I don't read current Sam and Fuzzy, and I feel a little bit bad for that, but fucking Sam and Fuzzy is actually the only comic for which I have ever bought merch. I have a Sam and Fuzzy t-shirt. Yeah, EGS is old. A lot of these are old. I think I also started reading EGS in high school or shortly thereafter. I never liked Narbonic. I never got into Narbonic, but I did really like Skin Horse, and I read Skin Horse basically also from its start. Yeah, one of my friends in high school really liked Schlock Mercenary, and a couple of others. I can't remember the fucking name of. Another one is Girly, who I've met the author of Girly, who, fucking shocker, trans woman. So that did go to print, and I have a physical copy of the complete collection, the entire run of Girly in like the box set, which has the author's dead name on it from print and the author's current name signed on it in Sharpie. She used to be roommates with one of my girlfriends for a while, and then it turned out that she kind of like went down the mild alt-right trans femme incel path. But like I like the comic, and I'm glad that I own that collection, so that's neat. Teenage Powerpuff Girls, of course. 2004 to 2001. Yeah, that checks out. Anyway, okay, cool. I got all of those off of this board. We are done with that part, and I will clean up and inevitably reuse that board for something in the future. But right now, one went down the side. I'm going to kind of clean the solder off of some of these, or off of these in general. Set them there. Can't even see what I'm doing. As usual, the lighting setup here is a continual experiment. Someday I'll have better cameras. Oh, interesting. Huh. That actually kind of doesn't surprise me. Just put it in the Pathfinder server, I'll see it. You guys can, well, if I put this here, you can kind of see what I'm doing. And I honestly need that light on still for my purposes, because otherwise it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing. Oh, okay. There's so many of these. Yes, please. I want to know. I want to know the gossip. Ah, almost launched that one across the room. As she should be. Come on. Oh wow, that one's really clean. Fun. I mostly understand that. I'm much more of a hardware person than a software person, but also if I'm quiet, it's because of this task being kind of fiddly. I think Either 2 of these or 4 of these are bent, and I need 4 fewer than are here for mounting that board, so that'll work out perfectly. And if I accidentally mess one up or launch it across the room, I can just unbend one of the bent ones. It's nice to have spares. Ah! I got solder on my finger. There is nothing wrong with that. Definitely. I should use some fresh solder to clean this tip. Okay, that's better. There's another bent one. Oh, okay, that's another bent one. That is clean. I don't think Twitch chat is particularly well suited for sharing code blocks. No idea how many down, no idea how many to go. That's okay. I'm so happy that my chat is self-sustaining right now. Well, there goes one of them. Okay, that one went across the room. Okay. Get out of there. My hands are kind of shaky right now for no other reason than that the last few days have been kind of stressful. That one's clean. That one's also clean. That one's bent and clean. Last one! Okay. The hearing... So yesterday was a fucking disaster. And shut this off for the moment. Done soldering. The hearing stuff, going to the audiologist and being told that there is nothing physically wrong with my ears and that I have the auditory equivalent of dyslexia, fucking sucks. That is so much more stressful. Like that is so much more difficult to deal with than, hey, your ears are fucked up and you need hearing aids. So, another thing wrong with my brain, and that is really stressful, and I hate it. I need to shorten these. But then, yeah, the stream, yesterday's Borderlands stream, almost didn't happen because of my wire cutters. Because so the last few days, do I want to cut this in? I noticed that the light in our fridge was flickering, and I assumed that was just the LED bulb going out. But it was not, because yesterday morning we woke up, and let me actually double check this against the actual chip. Yeah, frying the landlord. We woke up, to no power on one side of the kitchen. And one thing that we discovered is that the outlets on one side of the kitchen are on a different circuit breaker than on the other side of the kitchen. But those outlets, where the toaster and the fridge are, were dead, so I had to get an extension cord and plug our fridge into the hallway. And then I went to the doctor, I came back. I didn't have enough time in the morning to really deal with that. I had to go to my doctor's appointment to be told that my hearing is perfect. And then I came back, and checking the thing, I was like, oh, the power in this outlet is back on. The fridge is running again. The stove light is running again, etc. So that's weird. That implies intermittent wiring. So I emailed the landlord about this. He got back to us very quickly about it. And came over. I showed him what was wrong, and he got out his meter and stuff and was inspecting it to try to figure out the problem before he called the electrician. He is smart enough that he wasn't going to try to do this himself. Come on. See if I can get some more appropriate... Oh, I should just use these. Trying to check what was wrong, and in the process of measuring everything, because also our stove was not working, and that is on a different circuit, because everything is on 120 volts except for our stove, which is on 240, our oven. So he was checking everything out. Like, the stove had gone dead, the oven had gone dead that morning, and that's on a different circuit. And he was inspecting that stuff and checking. We found out that the outlet for the toaster, where there should be 120 volts, only had about 50 volts, which is not correct. And then while he was checking the voltage at the 240 outlet for the oven, he touched the oven and the refrigerator at the same time, which was plugged into the hallway. and conducted electricity through his body, between the body of the oven and the body of the fridge. And I don't think this is the case, but Looney was saying, you know, it would be really funny if that's been a problem the entire time we've lived here, and we've just never noticed because neither of us have done that. I don't think that's the case, but yeah, so we electrocuted our landlord. Chairman Mao would be proud. And then he called the electrician over, but it was like, we don't actually know what the problem is. It's in the walls somewhere. It's not with the appliances. We don't know how big of a deal this is going to be. And he told us, you know, if this is bad enough, I might put you guys up in a hotel overnight. We have, like, the worst, terrible landlord we could possibly ask for. Jim is relatively chill, which is good. Yeah, so that was like up until I think they finished like 45 minutes before I was supposed to stream, before Maria and I were supposed to stream. Yes, it's in the walls. But yeah, the electrician came over, checked it out, chatted with me about working on the model railroad system. I found out that our apartment does not have a master breaker for the apartment. What I thought was the master breaker at the top was in fact the breaker for the oven. There is only a master breaker outside. So that's kind of annoying. But, yeah. So our electricity got fixed 45 minutes before stream. And then, of course, we tried streaming, and Maria had electricity is stored in... Yes. Yeah, correct. That is a scientific fact. Maria and I were trying to stream Borderlands, and the unreliability of both Maria's internet and Maria's computer, and also the version of Borderlands we were using, as it turns out, was fucking awful. So the first half an hour to 40 minutes of that stream was us just trying to get things working, and like me standing around killing skags while waiting for her to reconnect, which sucked. And then I found out afterwards, after the stream was over. So Borderlands Enhanced Edition, because I was thinking, oh, we have to play the Enhanced Edition because that's the one that's been updated to use Steam matchmaking instead of GameSpy matchmaking, and that is not actually correct. Regular Borderlands has been updated. It has been patched to use Steam matchmaking instead of GameSpy. However, okay, that should be good. That is one of these complete. They released like a remastered version of the game in, I guess, 2019. That's like a graphical remaster, and that's Enhanced Edition. And it turns out that Enhanced Edition is widely fucking hated for a number of problems introduced. Like, yes, it looks better, having played them immediately back to back. Oh, Enhanced Edition looks really pretty. It has a number of interface changes and alleged quality of life. It does have some quality of life improvements backported from Borderlands 2. However, like automatically picking up ammunition and money and stuff when you walk by it, instead of having to manually do that for every single thing when there are so many fucking drops in that game. But honestly, I like the menu interfaces in classic Borderlands better. But anyway, also the multiplayer is apparently horribly unreliable, and also there's a memory leak in Enhanced Edition, so frame rate tanking after an hour of play is normal, and that wasn't a problem for me because my PC is it's a little bit old, but it's fucking Herculean because it's supposed to play DCS World in VR. So I didn't really have any problems, but yeah, Maria had a ton of frame rate problems, and our multiplayer was not very stable, so we're going to stream Borderlands again next Tuesday, but we are not. We're basically gonna start over because we're gonna play the original standard Borderlands Game of the Year edition. So there are also a number of Bethesda fan style third-party patches to fix various problems with Borderlands, which do work in co-op, and those mods do not work with enhanced. So, yeah. None of us can wait to see Claptrap again. Fortunately, he's not in that game that much. But yeah, so we're gonna do that, and I'm thinking that the two of us will stream the entirety of Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2 together, and then say goodbye to the Borderlands series because I have no desire to play 3. Although we will be playing Tiny Tina's DLC for Borderlands 2 because I fucking love that and I've never finished it. So, anyway. Almost done. Last one! Huzzah! Okay. So I now have these, which I can now slip onto here. And the other one onto here. And I can stick that in a board. Where did that board go? It is. In like that. That side goes in okay. That one pin is not. There we go. Okay, it's in. Whole alignment looks good. Comically tall, but I don't care. So now I'm going to go ahead and bend some of these over. So anyway, yeah, between the health stuff, the electrical stuff, and the fucking streaming stuff, yesterday just kind of sucked. And then today I'm exhausted from walking to the grocery store and back, and so I'm just kind of bleh right now. But I don't aim to have a particularly high energy stream anyway, so it's fine. It doesn't want to bend over. There it goes. Okay. That is now ready to be resoldered. Go ahead and clamp the microcontroller in the flat vise. That. And we will run up the soldering iron again. I was also looking to see if there were any mods for Borderlands 1 that puts fewer guns in it, but no dice on that. But yeah, I haven't played that in years, so it's kind of nice. And it's fun to, like, stream with Maria because, like, we don't see each other that often because her job is very, very, very busy and we live a few hours apart and it kind of sucks. And I'm a very... I'll be honest, I'm not a very good friend or girlfriend sometimes because, like, I'm just kind of here and I don't... I'm just making sure the sharpness looks good. Probably about as good as it's gonna get. I tend to not talk to, like, I've joked before, half joked, that I lack social object permanence, where as soon as someone is not talking to me, I forget they exist. And I don't go out of my way to talk to them. And it's not like I don't care, I'm just really bad at this. And so it's like, I feel really bad about that, especially when it comes to my girlfriends, the ones that I don't live with, so that sucks. So the fact that she and I are both streaming and we can do co-op games and, like, watch each other's streams, now it's like, yes, there's something we can actually do together on a regular basis that keeps me from, like, fucking disappearing on her for weeks at a time. VTubing, saving someone's relationship. Anyway. Nope, not hot enough yet. And on top of all that, of course, I didn't sleep very well again. Time is it? 6:30-ish. Still needs a little more. Anyway, I assume that for the people who enjoy watching me play Fallout, watching me play Borderlands is probably less fun because it's a far more obnoxious game. But I don't know. I wanted to be able to play with Maria, and I do actually enjoy playing it, despite its many shortcomings. So, but tomorrow, not tomorrow, Friday. Oh, I'm glad that you think so. That sounded really sarcastic. I'm glad you think so. No, I am. But it was, we did not have very many viewers yesterday, and I assume that's partly because people were just busy, and also because of us struggling to make the fucking stream work. But, like, honestly, like, if no one is watching and interacting while I'm playing Fallout, it can be kind of stressful in a I'm not talking to anyone kind of way. Fortunately, thanks to you guys, I don't think I've had a single stream where literally no one was watching. So I appreciate it a lot, but it's, yeah, sometimes I'm kind of like, damn it. Come on. Just me, Fallout, and chat can be slightly frustrating at times that way, but yesterday we didn't have that many people playing, and I wasn't that worried about it because I was having a lot of fun with Maria, so, you know, it's fine. Also, watching Maria's Elden Ring stream was a ton of fun on Sunday because, like, I don't play Souls-like games, and watching her do that was really impressive because she's, like, really fucking good at them. Is my fucking soldering tip loose? Kind of. Let me solve that problem real quick. Where is that? And a screwdriver tip. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. So we will be doing that. Just that next week we will be starting over with a version of Borderlands that sucks less on a technical front. But also, like, part of the frustration with that stream was also we were trying to use the stream together feature. And the stream together feature is for, like, fucking talk show shit. Like, it expects that people are using webcams. We're basically trying to do split screen gaming on our streams, and it doesn't work for that very well. So we're not going to bother with that next time. And it sucks a little bit that it's like whoever is watching us play is only the views only count towards one stream instead of both. But whatever, it's fun. Also, I accidentally filled up a hole on this board through which no wire is supposed to go, but that annoys me on general principle, so I am going to be cleaning that up. Okay. Is one side done other than the clogged hole, which you can kind of see right there? At some point I need to set up a new Patreon for this persona, this account, and I need to set up a throne, which I honestly hadn't even heard of before until like right before I started VTubing. But it's like a wish list thing for fans to buy you stuff, and I'm gonna create a throne, and I'm gonna put a roll of solder on there, and if anyone can help me afford a new roll of solder, that would be wonderful. Because not having a roll of solder would be a major problem for like half the content of this channel. Leaded. Yeah, I only work with 60/40 tin lead rosin core solder because like I get the point of and am in favor of Rojas for industrial stuff, but for my own hobby purposes, it's just so much easier to work with leaded. Okay. I'm going to unsolder that one hole. Get some desoldering braid. There. Go. Okay, that is clean. I don't know how I ever worked on these projects before I knew what desoldering braid was. So useful. Anyway, ta-da! Done. Now I have a board to mount that thing on non-permanently. But I will need to buy more of these at some point. Because I think this is my last Metro 328 that I have on hand. And I normally use it for prototyping. I'm not too worried about it because I don't have an Amazon wish list. I could make one, but I kind of want to experiment with Throne, which is like... Throne is basically an external Amazon wishlist. Like, you can put... It's basically an Amazon wishlist, but it supports multiple sites, including but not limited to Amazon. So I think I can put, like, Adafruit stuff on there. Okay. So that is done. Now I need to... What do I need to do? Actually, no. Leave that plugged in. Still... I know what I need to do next. Clean these up. Clean some of these up. Whoa. Okay. That's gonna be a lot. Yeah, I've seen other VTubers use Throne, and one of them was like, wow, holy shit, someone, thank you so much. One of my fans bought me like a 4090, like a GPU, and then another one was like, thank you so much, one of my fans bought me a bag of chips. So, it's that kind of thing, but I haven't actually looked at it yet. Okay. Piston. Almost there. Little bit more cleaning. Okay. That one is ready. This one is clean. One is clean. This one is clean. This one is clean. And yeah, this one. I tend to reuse components a lot from older flight simulator projects, mainly that have been depreciated. Hence all of the scraps of wiring that are on some of these. And I apologize that that's not particularly visible, but oh well. That look good enough? That looks good enough. Okay. All 6 of these are ready. Now I need wire. Stranded cord. That is the 30 gauge. Here we go. Stranded cord 22 gauge. So I need, call it about that much. Apologies that this is off screen, but it's just easier to do in my lap. Oh, I should shut this off. That, and then blue for the analog signals. 2. Five, unless I'm crazy and lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, yeah. I know what I'm doing. Now, also need. Let's see, make them about. Long is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red and 5 black. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. All the wiring we need. Go ahead and strip all of this. And then tin all of it, which is going to take kind of forever. That's okay, it's not even 7 yet. It is once again all-you-can-eat spaghetti night. You guys should see the inside of my Nixie tube clock, which I'm going to have to redo at some point. It works, but it has a few problems, including but not limited to, I want to put a new real-time clock module in it because it runs a little bit slow. It loses a couple seconds a week. And also, the colon in the middle is like way brighter than the actual numbers because I didn't think to put the dots in the multiplex circuit, so the numbers are turning on and off very quickly. Persistence of vision based display, but the dots in the middle are just on, so they're a lot brighter than the actual numbers. And also one of them is flickering because basically I used too strong of a series resistor on it. So running a little bit undercurrent, I think it is having instability problems with the plasma. So at some point there will be a stream of me working on upgrading my Nixie clock. There will also at some point be a stream of me making a VFD clock using some of the old Soviet VFD calculator tubes that I have. Okay. It's ready. I like VFDs. In fact, I'm gonna be honest, I think VFDs are cooler looking than Nixie tubes. I do really like Nixie tubes, but VFDs are neater to me. But the wiring for the one VFD tube, can't talk right now, that I have done so far for a computer hexadecimal display, which is what that big LED display I was showing off earlier is supposed to replace. That was such a pain in the ass to do with just perf board and no printed circuit boards. Like building that thing, I think before I solder this, I'm going to take a break so I can show off that display. Building that thing without purpose-built printed PCBs was such a pain in the ass, and it's so big that is the entire reason. There is so much point-to-point wiring on it. Building that VFD display is the entire reason that I built or that I started etching my own circuit boards and did my own circuit board for that hexadecimal LED module. I basically built a pagoda of computer science. But it like the simplest way to drive VFD is to just put all of the pins through the appropriate line drivers to microcontroller pins and just solve the problem in software. And I'm someone who really prefers to try to solve the problem in hardware if I can. Like yeah, you can get away with a lot of things of, oh, just stick a microcontroller in it. Just stick a fucking Arduino in it and program that. And then you don't have to worry about 555 timers and shit. And, you know, discrete logic gate circuits. But building discrete logic gate stuff is, like, cool to me and something that I want to be able to do. And so that was a big thing with building the VFD system. Yeah. That's something I wanted to be able to do when building that VFD. So that thing is, there is no programmable logic whatsoever in that VFD driver, which takes in 24-bit parallel input and displays it as 6 hexadecimal characters. And it is multiplexed because a multi-character VFD tube has to be multiplexed. So it is switching the individual characters on and off in series, in a sequence. And I did that entirely without using any programmable logic, and it's really cool. And it was also really a pain in the ass to do without, like, proper PCBs. So building that thing was what completely kickstarted me deciding, you know what, I need to learn how to print PCBs. And eventually I will learn how to design PCBs and have someone else print them for me, but I want to do my own printing first. Okay. Almost done. Last wire. And then show off the vacuum fluorescent pagoda. Which I can also just light up using the separate power supply. The big power supply. Come on, get out of the way. Push this back out of the way. These are ready to go. That I don't need. These can go in the lead waste bin. Come on. There. give me a moment so I can go grab this nightmare. You aren't ready for this. So this thing is my magnum opus of not using PCBs. And it does in fact work. For this little vacuum 6-digit calculator tube. This thing is a lot. I will explain how it works in a minute. But first, I want to plug it in and make sure that it does in fact still work. First digit. Yeah, this is the 24-bit bus. Where is the first digit? There it is. Or the first bit. Make the first digit 0. Or actually the rightmost digit 0. And then next digit 1. This is a bit of a brain squeezer because I'm wiring it such that looking at it from this direction, the least significant bit is on the left. Okay. Next digit 2. I think this is the craziest and most challenging thing that I have built so far. Next digit 3. Come on. Next digit is 4. Come on, get down in there. Zero, 1, 0, 0 is 4, yes. And the next digit will be 5. Which is 4 plus 1. Okay, that should be correct. These control the symbols, I think. And I'm just going to blank those on the leftmost grid. Yeah, do that. Once it is ready to be lit up, now I need to make this reach far enough that I can plug in the 12-volt line, which I will just put there, and then 5 volts. There's actually supposed to be, I think, a 15-volt tube, so with the 12-volt power supply, it's a little dim, but it should be fine. Why? 5 volts. That's ground, and I need a wire for the 12 volt. I almost fell out of my chair doing that. How did the wire strippers go? There they are. Long enough? I don't know. We'll find out. This is V2. It is so nice having a double power supply that has both 5 volts and 12 volts. We're going to find out in a second if this still works and how well. There we go. It works. So yeah. All that shit to make this fucking display light up. I don't remember how long it took me to build this, but it was very, very frustrating, and it is the first major project I did where I thought, you know, I'm really glad I own an oscilloscope, because holy shit, debugging this thing was a fucking nightmare. So, go ahead and unpower it. Oh shit, you can actually see, or at least I can see in OBS, I don't know if you can see on the stream, a flicker in it. It looks fine there. Yeah, it's completely washed out from that light. With the overhead light on, I think the LEDs on the overhead lighting are cycling at a frequency that is, like, occasionally washing out some of the digits, because to the naked eye, they are on solid. There is no flicker there. But with the light shining on it and appearing in the camera, oh, that's really cool. So basically what you're seeing is that it is a multiplex display. All of the digits share the same pins. So like the topmost segment of this digit is on the same pin as the topmost segment of this digit, and on this digit, and on this digit. So if you light up that segment, it will light up on all of the digits, which is why there is a grid in front of each individual digit, which is basically an electron gate to shut off and block the flow of electrons to that digit, so you only open one gate at a time. So you set up the input pins for the digit you want to display, and then you open the grid for the digit or the place where you want that to actually show up. And then you shut that grid, that's on for a certain period of time, and then you close that grid, and then you set up the inputs for the next digit, and then you open the next grid, and so on and so forth. So it is actually turning the digits on and off one at a time very quickly. And that is wild. That is weird. You can see that flickering like that. That's neat. So yeah. Go ahead and unplug that. It still works! Yay! I did something right. Power supply out of the way. So, this is 24 bits, which is 6 times 4. It is 6 nibbles if we're using the old terminology. It is 6 4-bit numbers, or 6 hexadecimal digits. The bottom 4 wires, this is for the least significant digit of the data bus, and that's the other digit of the data bus, and then this is the least significant digit of the address bus, and the rest, yeah, that's all The wiring is exactly the same. I just color coded it, so part of it is for data and part of it is address, but that was for my 6502 computer. And the bottommost board is literally just a shitload of AND gates, where you can see that there are... the labeling is kind of coming off, but all of these that go down to the bottom board are to control the AND gates so that only one of these is allowed through at a time. Only one group of 4. There are 6 quad AND gate chips, and each one of these 4-bit numbers goes to one of those, and then each, like, one of these wires goes to each of those quad AND gates to let them through to basically these, like, if the least significant digit, the AND gates are active on this wire, then whatever number is put in on the rightmost 4 wires is allowed to continue through here, and all of the other AND gates are off, so all of these are set to 0 no matter what. And so then the next board up, you can see a crapload of diodes right there. That is an OR gate to combine them all into a single... I'm trying to remember how all of this is wired, but it combines all of them basically into a single 4-bit number. So that the bottom 2 boards are just a fucking multiplexer. The bottom 2 boards just take 4-bit segments of a 24-bit parallel input and give it out in 4-bit chunks, which go to... there is somewhere in this a decoder chip, the same one that I used for that LED board, where 4-bit number goes in and 7-segment display control showing a hexadecimal number comes out. And then you can see that I didn't have any resistor networks to use here. Like I was talking about earlier, resistor networks are so cool. This is just done with normal fucking resistors, so many of them, and I don't remember exactly how this is wired, but basically this is supposed to be 15 volt control. So that has to be inverted and stepped up so that a 0 input will cause 15 volt, a 0 volt input will cause 15 volt output, and a 1 volt input, or a 5 volt input, which is a digital 1, will cause a 0 volt output. So it is inverted and also stepped up to 15 volts. In this case, it's only stepped up to 12 volts because I don't have a 15 volt power supply, which is why it's kind of so dim. But then the next board up is the fucking timer board, which has just a step counter. Like, I didn't even have a proper step counter IC, I just made one out of a fucking 8-bit flip-flop chip with a 555 to initialize it, so it has a 1 in one of the bits and a 0 in the rest, and it will just shift that 1. Every time there is a clock cycle, it will shift the 1 to the right by 1 step, and then start over when it gets to the end with only... Great, that label's completely coming off. With only 7 bits for the 7 grids. Because there are 6 digits, but also you can see that there is a 7th grid position all the way to the left, which has a couple of calculator symbols, because this did actually come out of a pocket calculator that I believe was made in 1982. This stupid little board on the back is a couple of transistors to control those 2 calculator symbols all the way on the left. And the... yeah, but also this has... so it has that step-by-step counter, and it has the 555 timer, which acts as the clock signal, the clock generator, to make that step counter go. And also, so the step counter determines both which grid is open and also which group of 4 bits is allowed to go up here to the hexadecimal driver. And then the last thing is there is a 2 volt. It's actually, I think, 2.5 volts. Yeah, it's a 2.5 volt power supply, but I put a series resistor in there to drop it down to 2 volts to drive the literally basically light bulb filaments that are in the front, which just act as the electron fountains that, when allowed to go through the grid, and when the phosphor segments are charged correctly, the fountain of electrons coming from the light bulb filament in the front bombards into these phosphor segments and make them glow literally exactly the same way as in a cathode ray tube. This is just a really tiny, really weak cathode ray tube that doesn't have any kind of beam control. So, yeah. That's what this fucking thing is. That was so much work to build and to debug, and I'm so proud of it, and I never want to do that again. Like, holy shit. So, yay! Yeah, this thing is absolutely fucking enormous. And you can see the degree of the point-to-point wiring on the bottom. But, yeah. So I built this thing, and I'm like, I'm never doing that again. I wanted to just move over to LEDs for a final panel build for my 6502, and B, I need to learn to make circuit boards. So the direct response to having finished this was to build this one. So, yeah, which is also a significantly less complex circuit because LEDs are a lot simpler to drive than vacuum fluorescent display, and this isn't multiplexed. But, yeah. Holy shit. I'm going to set that aside. Set them over by my microphone. Enough of that intermission. Let's tin some wires. Plug that back in. Bring this bit up here. Turn this on. Anyway, yeah, thank you for humoring me on my show and tell. There is a big blob of solder right on the end of that fucking alligator clip. I think that got on there last time I was working. I don't think I'm going to be able to pry that off. Oh well. Not important. Out of the way. Where did I put the foam pad that I was using? So that's visible. Cool. There's also a blob of solder. I think I accidentally poked the filter on this thing with the soldering iron earlier. On the extractor fan. Anyway. Hot enough? Almost. Anyway, now you've seen the full extent of the kind of mad science bullshit that goes on in this office. At some point, I will do a stream of etching a circuit. That'll probably actually be a 2-day back-to-back. First stream setting up the mask, and the second day doing the actual etching. So that'll be a fun one. Now I just need to tin these. Solder on the arm. It spat at me, like, it got me right here. Flux core, yes. Always flux core. I do have a flex pen for if I'm working on something where it's not, like, particularly for desoldering stuff, I do have a flux pen, but it's generally easier if I just use rosin core solder for most of my work. I'm still kind of getting used to looking through the ring magnifier, because I've barely ever used this thing until now. A lot easier on eye strain, though. There we go. Just pre-tinning all of these. They're actually already tinned, I just don't want them, they're stranded core, and I don't want them to be stranded at the ends. It makes everything easier if they're not. So. But this is pre-tinned copper. That'll be trimmed anyway, so it doesn't matter. And this is the last of the long ones. Now I gotta do all the little short ones. Two red left. Last third one. Also, I would like to hear opinions about this. Discord servers. I have told people, like a lot of people were saying when, you know, I was getting advice from other VTubers about starting up, oh, you should have your own Discord server for the people who watch it. Partly so that they get announcements for, like, an automatic notifications for when you're online, even if they don't have, like, Twitch notifications. I guess that's a thing. And I said, I don't really want to create a Discord server for myself. I did create a small one for basically my collective, which is me and two of my girlfriends and two of my non-girlfriend friends. The five of us all decided we wanted to do VTubing. 2 down, 3 to go. I created a small server basically for the 5 of us to coordinate. But downside to that is I don't want to be responsible for a fucking Discord server because it's like I've been responsible for a Discord server before for my what was it? For my the Chinese club at my university. I was the admin of that for a while because we basically made managing that a responsibility of the VP, and I was the VP of that club because at the time no one else wanted to fucking do it because we were bringing that club back from the dead after COVID destroyed it. And I don't have the patience to moderate a community space myself and don't want to like drag other people into doing it too. But now I'm thinking, since Maria and I are both doing it and Looney will be doing it, yeah. But now I'm thinking, since Maria and I are doing it and Looney will also be doing it soon, sort of as a collective, as the Lesbian Power Trio collective, I'm thinking it might be a good idea for us to create just the Discord server for the three of us, because that will make things easier to manage. So I might do that soon. Gonna be honest, I don't know what BDFL stands for. It sure is a name, yes. I told my friend Libris, who also wants to start VTubing and was a big help with me getting ready to do this, because he's done so much more research on this than I have. When I told him while planning that Looney was gonna do it too, he was like, "Oh, yeah, lesbian power couple, that'll be good." Oh, okay, right. I forgot about that. So yeah, it was that. But then I got back from my parents, from my, the family estate, where I spent 2 weeks with nothing to do but plan all of this. I got back, and Maria came over to visit. She took time off work and was here for like a week, and I told her about all of this, and she was like, "Oh shit, I've been wanting to stream too. I wanted to get into streaming Elden Ring, and I got a capture device for doing that, but I haven't started it yet. But shit, now I want to do this with as a VTuber too, like that." So I helped her get all of that set up with the face tracking and stuff. And I'm glad that I did, because watching her stream was really cool, because she's really fucking good at that game. Watching her take down Godric was incredible. Okay. All of the wires are tin. Cool, cool, cool. Now, what am I doing on solder? Relatively okay. This is going to be a little bit interesting. That way. Come on. Tighten up. Okay. Go ahead and get the blue wire attached to all 6 of these. For starters, it's going to be easier with you. Come on. Okay, that's good. Okay. Ow. Yeah, looks fine. I really love the flat vise. That was a good investment. I guess that is once again about as good as the focus is going to get. Whoops. And this is also fun because it kind of gets me to the workbench more than I have been doing lately. Like, I've barely done much DIY stuff outside of a little bit of model train related stuff before I started doing this. I've been kind of slacking off on that, and so having this as a little bit of a motivator to actually work on stuff is really cool and really good and really fun, and I'm happy. Okay. Three. I'm inspecting the wires as I go along because one end of it has to fit through a hole in the perf board. So I'm picking the worse end that probably will have difficulty fitting through that hole and using that end to attach to the potentiometer. Maximizing the wire's potential, you see. But I'm... Okay. 4. Something just occurred to me that I want to check. No. Okay, we're fine. Somewhere around here there's a potentiometer that has an X described in the back of it that does technically still work. But I have an X on the back of it for a reason. That is the pot of last resort. But I did not accidentally grab that one. Alright. Last blue wire. Dang it, stop hitting the camera. Okay. That can sit there. Blue wiring is done. Black wiring goes on the left. Doesn't technically matter, but we're going to pretend that it does. So, we need to take the long black one and one of the short black ones and twist these together. Easiest to do with the needle nose pliers. Put them right there. Put them together. Cut a bit off the end. This goes on that side. Come on. So I want it more like that. You can probably barely see that. Oh, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Come on. That was not the most graceful thing in the world, but okay, it is on there. Same deal with the long red wire and a short red wire. Ah, come on, get back on there. Put those together. The end off. And it goes on the right-hand side of the pot. Come on. Yeah, looking through the magnifier messes with my depth perception a little bit. And I just got nicked in the wrist again with solder splatter. Okay. So these need to connect to the next one. And I just need to do this the whole frickin' way down. So this will actually work best if I use both pairs of needle nose. Good enough. Oops. Get. Yeah, I'm glad that the fan noise isn't coming through the stream. Sadly, I can barely hear the music right now over it. It sucks because I really like the Starbound soundtrack. I really like Starbound. Shame about literally everything about it and its development. That looks a little bit crummy, but it's fine. Yeah. Like, I enjoy it, but there are a number of extremely legitimate criticisms about its design. I'm thinking about what could have been. And there's also the problem of just the business practices. And how many fucking people... Starbound feels Roblox adjacent in terms of unpaid volunteer labor that absolutely should not have been unpaid. And I don't think they were hiring, like, putting this off on literal children the way that Roblox does, but, like, it's not great. Okay. Next one. Here. Next potentiometer. One. Black goes on the right. Or black goes on the left, excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Like, every single person who works for Roblox deserves bad things happening to them that I'm worried AI technology might shut down my stream for saying. The executives. Shame about that. Okay, that's the second one. The blue wire through so it's on this side. Next. Yeah. Well, we got the cyberpunk future. We didn't even get the cool one. We got all the bad parts of cyberpunk. That twisting is not working well. You know what? If I were smart, I would have twisted and soldered these together before I pinned them solid, but you know what? Oh well. I think I'm going to tin that one. I'm going to clip that one short after it has been soldered to the potentiometer. See if I can make that a little bit more graceful if I just do it by hand. Yeah, a little bit. It's less destructive on the insulation. Come on, there we go. The important difference, I think, is that the people who run Roblox aren't trying to be ethical. They just suck. Okay. Let's see. Okay, red then black. Oh wow, that's coming off completely. Get on there. Oh, I see the problem. Fuck you. Okay, and black. No, I'm gonna actually try that first. Okay. All right, that is 3. Halfway done with this part. And I know that the silicate household has to go to bed soon, but you're probably not missing much. I just need to finish soldering the last 3 of these potentiometers onto this daisy chain, and then all of the wires have to go onto the board. So like 8 wires soldered to a circuit board, and that's it. That's the entire extent of the hardware, other than making the housing, which I'm not going to bother doing on stream. But Just remember, Friday Tomb Raider on console. I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I still haven't finished the Tomb Raider remaster because I really love it, because I really love the original Tomb Raider games. And Looney bought that for me. And I think I'm about halfway through the first one. I'll be starting over from the beginning for the stream, but yeah. Okay. Ready to go. Three potentiometers so far. I've never played any of the reboots. I just really like the classic ones. I mean, it's a little bit interesting because Tomb Raider, like the original Tomb Raiders 1 through 4, are games that I would never describe as being good, but that I still like. The camera adds a lot of unnecessary difficulty. The auto camera is a pain in the ass, and the combat is terrible and was always terrible through every single installment of those of the original 4. But when it's just being a puzzle platformer, I fucking love those games. I really like the map architecture. And I really like the platforming gameplay, which is not true of most platformers. I don't like platformers that much, broadly speaking. But for some reason I find Tomb Raider 96's jumping puzzles to be quite satisfying. Powerful lady main characters go. Powerful in multiple senses, because I did the math on this one time. I figured out how tall Lara is, and from that figured out like the block size. In fact, the block size is kind of it's not 1 meter blocks, it's like 1.5 meters or something. 1.6 or something like that. I don't remember exactly. But it's a standard unit size in the horizontal direction, X and Y, and then the vertical is 1/4 of that. So a cubic block in that game is 1 unit wide by 1 unit wide by 4 vertical units tall, and that is 1 cubic I don't knows. It's 1.6 meters or something like that, 1.4. I don't remember exactly. But I then calculated, because one of the elements of gameplay in literally every installment, forgot to extend these. Starting from the very first one, is that there are big blocks that you have to push around in order to have platforms to jump to and like open up doorways and stuff. And those big blocks, I calculated, how heavy would a solid granite block of that size be? A, she can jump more than her own height. B, she can push a 17-ton stone block around. And yet, despite being fucking superhuman, she has no melee attacks. Which is why 1, 2, and 3. I never finished 4. I can't remember if 4 has this. But the first 3 games have levels partway through the game where you get captured and lose all of your weapons, and it becomes a sneaking game. She and Wonder Woman, I have not. Where is it? Oh, we're on the last potentiometer. No, we're on the second to last potentiometer, my bad. They turn into fucking sneaking games for that level, for at least part of it. 1 and 2 have very short sneaking, where you... Essentially, those levels is basically just, oh, you're back to pistols, and the very beginning of the level is just finding your weapons again, and there's a sneaking element. The second game, Tomb Raider 2, on the oil rig levels, you have to get caught and get people to shoot at you to shatter the glass behind you so that you can jump through and get to where your weapons are. But the third one, which is by far my favorite of the games, has... You get captured trying to break into Area 51, and then one of the levels is just trying to break out of, like, a military prison. And that entire level is borderline a sneaking level. I need to fix this. And Lara, despite being able to shove around a 17-ton stone block with her bare hands, has no melee attacks. No, she did not. She does in the first one. She has no fucking melee attacks in those games. Which is why an important mechanic of that level of Tomb Raider 3 is to sneak past the guards far enough to unlock a cell to let another prisoner out so that they will kill the guard for you. And then you can proceed to the next area where you do the same thing. And you do that like 5 fucking times. But I really like the Area 51 levels. They actually did, quite impressive for that time, they pulled a fucking TARDIS, where the UFO at the end of the Area 51 segment, the flying saucer, is way bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. You climb in through a hatch in the bottom, and it's like the size of a van on the outside, and then inside it's like 3 fucking floors, and they did that seamlessly. And having done some level editing for Tomb Raider 4 now, like, I see how they did that, I see how that trick works under the hood, but, like, that impressed the hell out of me as a kid. Also, you can swim with whales in that one. Alright. That is the end. Let's see. Long red and black wiring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on the last one! But yeah, the fucking gunplay in those games sucks ass. He has no melee attack, which I find preposterous, but at the same time, I can't imagine that hand-to-hand gameplay in that would be any better. I just enjoy them as platforming puzzle games. And also, I'm not particularly into horror games, but those are absolutely horror games. A lot of people didn't get far enough in Tomb Raider 1 to realize just how much of a horror game it is. But oh, it's a horror game. All of them kind of have that element to them, but the first one especially, in my opinion. All right, the last potentiometer is wired. Huzzah! Okay, out of the way. We're almost done. We're on the final stretch. So pin out. Put this in here. Find the first one. Find the red and black. Black has to go to ground. Red has to go to 5 volts. Okay. That part's done. And then blue wire from each potentiometer. Start first one on A0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A5. Okay. Yes. Ah! Shit. That's my bad. Half the fucking potentiometers were hanging off the edge of the desk. Oh, I found that, part that went flying earlier. Get rid of that. Okay, let's try that again. Nope, it's still in there. Cool. A0. That's not even on camera. Bad. Take this out of here. Hypothetically, so Deej, the software, the piece of software that I use for doing the audio, is... I'll look up later what that jumper is for, because that looks like I did that manually. Fuck, what was I talking about? I'm tired. Okay. There is the first one, blue wire from. Second one goes in the next hole. Just go down the row like that. That totally derailed my brain. What was I talking about before? Actual question, does anyone remember? It wasn't Tomb Raider, it was something after Tomb Raider. Second one. third one. Come on. Let's go. Well, whatever. Fourth. I think I might have already lost silicate. Fifth. No worries. I'm basically done. I have one more solder connection to make, and then it's stream over. Oh, I remember what I was fucking saying. I have no idea what that 3 or 5 volt jumper on the bottom of that Metro is for anymore, but the inputs are still 5 volts, so I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up later. It just looks like I did that manually, so I'm not sure. Okay. There we have it. Very simple circuit. Nothing particularly overly complex, unlike my fucking display stuff. But 6 potentiometers for volume controls. Connect up to that, which I will program later. I'm not going to bother to do that on stream. And that is a second one of these for Lunetta's computer for her streaming setup, which I'm going to test on Friday. Tomb Raider 1, 1996. A game that I first played the demo of on PC in 1996 on my 100 megahertz Pentium 1 PC. Anyway, soldering is done. And there we have it. One, two, come on. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'll find some scrap plastic around here to build a housing for them to be mounted on. Huzzah! All done! Good. I'm fucking tired. Hopefully I sleep better tonight. And tomorrow, Furiosa! We actually, Lunetta and I have spent the week rewatching all of the old Mad Max films. So we, in the last week and a half, we rewatched Fury Road, and then Mad Max, and then The Road Warrior, and then Beyond Thunderdome. And Looney was so amused because Beyond Thunderdome... I like Beyond Thunderdome. She liked it too, but it's so tonally different from the first two. It feels like a shitpost. Yeah, it's just one movie a day. But yeah, so we have rewatched all of that. So now we are prepared to go watch. I don't know why I'm fucking straightening a staple with my needle nose pliers, but it just seemed like a thing to do. We're gonna go watch Furiosa, and then we will probably end up rewatching Fury Road again on Friday or Saturday or something. There. Perfect. Trash. All right. Thank you all for tuning in to the stream, and I really love doing this. I'm really glad. So, thank you very seriously for all of your support. Yeah, it was I was feeling kind of maybe in the dumps a little bit when the stream started, just because of how much yesterday sucked. So yeah, you too. Thank you for watching. I know that you all watch as a group, but still, because Silicate puts me on the TV and everyone else has to put up with that. But thank you. Bye, Pix. All right. Cheers. Cheerio. Good night. Nope, that's the wrong button. Right. Alt. Duh. Good night.